We have just skipped over a two-part story called Feral's Scream, the reason being that nobody wants it. In fact, I mentioned this on Twitter a while back to see if anybody did want it, and most everyone just laughed. So, we're moving on. The gist of it for our purposes is that Cheetor has been upgraded to an entirely new, more scary-looking body, and Megatron has used Rampage's spark to make a new fully mechanical Dinobot to serve him. So with that, on with Proving Grounds. We kick things off with a deep body scan of Black Arachnia, and Rat Trap continuing to make friends.
I seen better circuits than yours on maintenance spots.
He's on our side, but man, he is such an asshole. Rhinox is finally able to locate the program that is responsible for making Black Arachnia a Predacon instead of the Maximal that she had been made to be. And why wouldn't she want to be? Between Rat Trap's constant taunts and Cheetor's species-inappropriate puppy love, she's been driven up the wall. Although she's a spider, so that's a natural place for her. While hiding, she eavesdrops on Optimus and Rhinox, who are discussing whether removing the Predacon programming would be possible without damaging her. Well, it could blank her mind if something goes wrong. Now, that would make Rat Trap happy, although not Silverbolt or Cheetor. At least I fucking hope it wouldn't. Disappointed that they still don't trust her, Black Arachnia slips away from the base unnoticed, unaware that the new Dinobot has been waiting for this moment, and begins stalking her. As she's laying out her problems to a butterfly before she intends to crush it, Dinobot gives away his presence. He'll do anything to save a butterfly. Well, Black Arachnia is pleased and goes chasing after him. Get some therapy through some acts of mindless violence, I say. So, she soon strings him up.
Oh, thought you'd last a little longer.
I have never had a woman say that to me. I usually give them very realistic expectations. Dinobot quickly escapes, though, but rather than attacking, he instead insults her and then storms off, and Black Arachnia follows to give him the business. Except back at the base, Silverbolt and Rat Trap are watching and see that she is heading towards Predacon territory, and it's hard for them not to assume the worst about that behavior. Still, Silverbolt wants to give her the benefit of the doubt, and Rat Trap finally agrees to let him take a shot at bringing her back. After Silverbolt invokes the original Dinobot's name to point out that Predacons can change, which we all know. I mean, their behavior. Obviously, they can do a lot more changing than that. Some of them are on their third, fourth. I think Optimus is on his fifth body by now. Well, this has all been a part of Dinobot's plan. He's been luring Black Arachnia into a jamming zone so that she can't call for help.
Uh-oh.
Forgot you weren't fighting the comic relief. And ironically, as he chases her while she flees, he's able to put shots into two trees to drop on her. A new boy's got some skills. He's within a hair's breadth of completing his mission, getting the access codes to the Ark out of her head. I'm guessing Megatron hasn't given up on that plan. She manages a devastating shot on Dinobot, but that special spark starts repairing him while she tries in vain to call in Silverbolt for help. Fortunately, Silverbolt can tell the jamming is a problem and heads to the ground to use his nose to smell her out. This is going to be a very dangerous hunt. Not this, although I understand he is playing on Nightmare mode. Silverbolt has found her, though, but Dinobot is prepared and ambushes him. With Silverbolt held as a hostage, Dinobot demands that Black Arachnia surrender to him. Well, what to do? She decides to shoot Silverbolt herself. Nobody kills my boyfriend but me. She's got a plan, though. She tells Dinobot that she can't just return to Megatron. He'll kill her once he gets the codes. But what if she returned with Dinobot and the pair of them overthrew Megatron? That would solve all their problems, wouldn't it? Dinobot considers, and then blasts her, leaving her helpless. Well, luckily, Silverbolt is back in action now. He tricks Dinobot into attacking a projection the same way that Dinobot had tricked Black Arachnia earlier. And between the two, they put Dinobot down for the count this time. So, now that we have that behind us, we can address the uncomfortable matter of her shooting him. Between that and overhearing the plans, he is unhappy that she's going back to her old ways. So she has to explain, "Dummy, that was a trick to protect you." Now, she could just be covering up that she actually was trying to return for real and take over, but what convinces me that she wasn't is that she loses it at him not believing her. There's something too genuine about her being affronted here to think that she's just playing him. During all this, Optimus has found out about them being in the jamming zone and has been coming, finally arriving now that it's all over. Thank you. Silverbolt tries to cover for Black Arachnia, but she admits to the truth, saying that she only did it, though, because she overheard what Optimus and Rhinox were talking about. Silverbolt can't believe that the Maximals would reprogram her, but Optimus said that they did indeed discuss it. But it was just an assessment of its feasibility and risks. He makes very clear the decision was, is, and always will be Black Arachnia's to make. So, now that we've straightened that out, the happy couple gets to have a fun flight home. The end. This episode served the primary purpose of showcasing the new Dinobot, while simultaneously advancing the subplot involving the Black Arachnia conundrum. They are forced allies due to the mutual need for survival and the feelings that exist between her and Silverbolt, which clearly are real based upon what happens in this episode. She's very torn up about the idea of not being with him anymore. But that then complicates further this dynamic between her and the Maximals. However, there is little else to say story-wise. I mean, I will add that I did find it odd that Optimus wasn't doing a better job of keeping the peace between Rat Trap and Black Arachnia. It really felt like he was allowing it to boil over rather than doing anything to try to diffuse it. The episode does effectively show the skills of the new Dinobot in action, though, both his weaponry as well as his abilities when it comes to both tactics and strategy. But overall, it's an episode that's neither impressive nor bad. It's just a little bit of fulfilling those mandates. Grist for the mill, if you will.
All hail the Overlord! All hail the Overlord!
You both look like scrap.